we start our presentation, let me introduce my group members. Me, Nur Alia binti Muhammad Zalani, and we have Nur Atra binti Anwar Fikri, Nur Amira Najah binti Muhammad Azadin, and Nur Aliana Azma binti Izzat Fahmi. So, next is background of study. This study examined the relationship between social media screen time and last semester GPA among student AS1203 Part 3. Data were collected through an online questionnaire. So, this study used two types of data, which is qualitative data and quantitative data. An example of question from online questionnaire from qualitative data is, at what time of the day do you use social media the most? So, student will answer with morning, afternoon, evening, or night. This study showing what usually often you use social media. The second one is quantitative data. Student provide their GPA, which is represent academic performance. Descriptive analysis was conducted for both data types. Frequency counts and simple charts were used for the qualitative response, while measure of central tendency, dispersion, and skewness were applied to the GPA data. The objective of study is to determine if daily social media use can be a predictor of academic performance. Next is to examine the strength and direction of the relationship between social media screen time and GPA through simple linear regression. Lastly is to identify how much variance in GPA can be explained by daily social media screen time. Next is significance of study. These research provide a crucial quantitative assessment of the relationship between daily social media screen time and student GPA. We aim to move beyond simple correlation to establish if screen time acts as a statistically significant predictor of academic performance. By using linear regressions, the study will quantify how much variance in GPA is explained by a student's social media usage. The importance of this study for students to offer self-awareness, enabling students to understand the measurable academic consequences of their digital habit and prompting self-regulation. For educators and administrators, the data provide evidence-based justification for designing effective campus policies and implementing targeted digital wellness or time management workshops. Lastly, for parents, the result furnish objective data to guide conversation and support decisions regarding appropriate limits and monitoring of social media usage.
Hi, I'm Amira, and now I will explain the data description for this study. First, in terms of basic statistical terms, the element of the study is an individual of AS120 Part 3 students. The population refers to all AS120 Part 3 students, while the sample size consists of 50 of AS120 Part 3 students with a mix of male and female respondents. Next, for the data source and collection, the study uses primary data, which means the data was collected directly from the respondents. And then, the method of data collection was an online survey conducted using Google Forms. And for the sampling technique, convenience sampling was applied, where the respondents were selected based on their accessibility and availability. Moving on to the variables, the independent variable in the study is daily social media screen time measured in hours. This variable is quantitative, measured in a ratio scale, and is considered a continuous variable. Meanwhile, the dependent variable is the last semester GPA, which is also quantitative, measured on a ratio scale, and considered or treated as continuous variable too. In addition, there are several other qualitative variables included for descriptive purposes. These are gender, social media platform use, time of the day social media used the most, and the frequency of social media affecting our focus. For gender, social media platforms, and time of the day are measured on a nominal scale. Meanwhile, the frequency of social media affecting our focus is measured on an ordinal scale, which includes always, sometimes, and never. Lastly, the number of social media apps used is identified as a discrete variable, as it can take only whole number values and cannot be fractional. Overall, this variable allows us to describe our respondents and analyze the relationship between daily social media screen time and GPA. Next, I will explain the graphical technique used in the study. Different graphical techniques are used to represent different types of variables and comparisons, ensuring clarity and accurate interpretation of the data. Alright, firstly, a scatter plot is used to examine the relationship between daily social media screen time and GPA. This graph helps us to identify any pattern or trend between the independent variable and also the dependent variable. Secondly, pie chart is used to show the gender distribution of respondents, allowing us to see clearly the proportion of male and female students in the sample. Next, a simple bar chart is used to illustrate the active time spent on social media, making it easier to compare the frequency across different time categories. A percentage bar chart is then used to present the number of social media apps often used by respondents. This graph highlights the distribution in percentage form, making comparisons more straightforward. In addition, a multiple or cluster bar chart is used to compare social media platform usage by gender, allowing us to observe the similarities and differences between male and female respondents. Lastly, a component or stack bar chart is used to show how often social media affect focus by gender, which helps to compare the contribution of each gender within each focus category. All these graphs were generated using Microsoft Excel to ensure clear visualization and consistency of the data presentation.
Let's move to numerical technique. For me, we have three types of data. First one is ungrouped data, and the second one is simplified ungrouped data, and third one is grouped data. For ungrouped data, N represents the total number of values in the sample. For simplified ungrouped data, F equal to frequency, X equal to value of X, and equal to sample size. For grouped data, F equal to frequency, X equal to midpoint, and N equal to sample size. Second, we have range. Range will represent in two ways, which is ungrouped data and also grouped data. For ungrouped data, the largest value minus smallest value. For grouped data, upper boundary of highest class minus lower boundary of lowest class. Then we move to mode. For mode, where L mode equal to lower class boundary of the model class, C equal to class size or class width, different 1, frequency of the model class minus frequency for the class before the model class, different 2, which is frequency of the model class minus frequency for the class after the model class. Then we have median, where N equal to sample size, Ln equal to lower class boundary of the median class. For Fm equal to cumulative frequency before the median class, Fn equal to frequency of the median class, C equal to median class size. Next, we also have sample variance and sample standard deviation. For group data, where N is number of observation or values in the sample, F equal to frequency, X stands for observation or value. For ungrouped data, where N is number of observation or values in the sample, X stands for observation or value, the other X, which is for sample mean.
Now, let's dive into results and discussion. We're going to talk about data presentation, descriptive statistic analysis, and correlation and regression analysis. For data presentation, we're going to talk about quantitative data and qualitative data. Let's talk about quantitative data first. Please be alert that quantitative data is not just under data presentation, but it's under descriptive statistics analysis too. So let's move on to the next slide. Measure of central tendency. As you can see for the academic performance, GPA, the mean, median, mode are all high and close to each other. This indicates that academic performance amongst the students are generally strong and consistent. As for social media screen time, the mean is slightly higher than the median and mode, suggesting that some students spend much longer hours, pulling the average upward. Measure of location. As you can see for the GPA values, they are concentrated within a narrow range, meaning there is no students who are academic overperformance or underperformance, suggesting that all students will fall within a similar academic level. As for social media screen time varies widely among students. Some use social media moderately, while others use social media at extremely long hours, indicating very different usage habits. Measure of dispersion. What is the standard deviation value tell us? The small standard deviation shows that academic performance of students are closely clustered around the mean. This indicates low variability and consistent. As for the social media screen time, the large of standard deviation indicates that there is high variability in social media use. Student screen time usage differs greatly, from moderate to excessively used.
The measure of skewness. The measure of skewness of academic performance GPA is negative 1.31. The distribution of academic performance is negatively skewed, indicating that most students have high GPAs while a few have significantly lower scores. And then is measure of skewness for social media screen time is positive 1.25. The distribution of social media screen time is positively skewed, meaning most students spend less time online, but a few have much higher usage.
Let's start with the gender distribution of our respondents. Out of 50 participants, 28% are male, meanwhile the 72% are female. The goal of this pie chart is to show the proportion of each gender in our sample. And the focus is on identifying the majority gender, which is important because gender may influence our survey trends and so the social media usage patterns. And as we can see, the majority of our respondents are female.
So this is simple bar chart. This simple bar chart is about most active time spent on social media among AS120 students. So the data collected from online questionnaire. So from the data, we show that the highest active time from student spent on social media is on night, which is 33 students, and on evening show 9 students, followed by afternoon with 7 students. And the lowest one is in the morning, which is only 1%.
We look at how many social media platforms students actively use. The goal of this percentage bar chart is to highlight the number of platforms students use, and the focus is on identifying the most common number of apps the students use and understanding their engagement. From the data, 56% of respondents use 3 apps, which makes this the most common choice. 24% use 2 apps, meanwhile very few respondents use 1, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 apps. This indicates that the most students actively use only 2 until 3 apps, which help explain how they divide their time and attention online. Finally, we use multiple bar chart to compare social media platform usage by gender. The goal of this chart is to identify the platform preferences for male and female respondents. And the focus is on highlighting differences and similarities between genders. Before I forget, this variable allows respondents to select multiple answers in the Google Forms. So from the chart, TikTok is the most popular platform with 31 females vote and 13 males. And then WhatsApp follows closely with 29 females and 12 males. Instagram shows moderate usage, while YouTube, X, and Thread have lower engagement. Female respondents consistently have higher counts across all platforms, reflecting the gender distribution in our sample. This chart clearly help us understand the gender specific preferences, and also highlights TikTok and WhatsApp as the leading platforms.
Now let's move to component bar chart. So this component bar chart is about effect of social media on focus between male and female among AS120 students. Goal for this component bar chart is to show composition of male and female students within each level of social media effect on focus. So the for focus, this component bar chart is the proportion of male and female students in each response category. So from the data collected from questionnaire, this component bar chart is illustrate the effect of social media on students focus among AS120 students by gender, which is male and female. So the data show female students form the larger component in the always and sometimes categories. Also, male show that students make up the larger component in the never category compared to females.
The correlation and regression analysis. The regression results show a very weak relationship between screen time and GPA. The R-square value shows a very small percentage of GPA variation is explained by social media screen time. Since the significant value is greater than 0.05, the relationship between screen time and GPA is not statistically significant. Hence, the social media screen time does not affect the academic result or GPA.
In conclusion, we can conclude that this study investigates whether daily social media screen time could predict academic performance among students. Descriptive statistics show that the average GPA was 3.54, while the average daily social media usage was approximately 5.86 hours. However, the result from the simple linear regression analysis reveal a very weak and statistically insignificant relationship between social media screen time and GPA. The R value of 0.121 and R square of 0.015 indicate that only 1.5% of the variance in GPA can be explained by social media usage. Furthermore, the p-value of 0.402 for the screen time coefficient suggests that the relationship is not statistically significant.
academic performance among students is high and consistent, as shown by the close mean, median, and low dispersion. In contrast, social media screen time show large variation, with some students spending significantly more time than others. In conclusion, while the study aimed to determine if social media use could predict academic performance and explain GPA variance, the findings suggest that daily social media screen time is not a meaningful predictor of GPA in this sample. Other factors beyond screen time likely play a more substantial role in influencing academic outcome. Lastly is recommendation. First recommendation is consider other influencing factors. Since social media screen time was not a significant predictor of GPA, future research should examine other variables such as study habits, sleep quality, motivations, and time management. Second is encourage balanced digital habits. Even though social media use did not strongly affect GPA, students should still be encouraged to balance online activity with academic responsibilities to avoid distractions. Third is expand research scope. Conduct studies with larger and more diverse sample across different institutions and academic levels to see if results vary. Lastly is promote digital literacy programs. School and university can provide workshops on effective digital use, helping students to use social media for academic networking, collaboration, and learning rather than purely entertainment.